मुनित्रय प्रार्थना। येनाक्षरसमाम्नायमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। येन धौता गिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चाज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। ॐ नमः पाणिनिकात्यायन पतञ्जलिभ्यः शब्दविद्या संप्रदाय प्रवर्तकेभ्यो मुनिभ्यो महद्भ्यो गुरुभ्यः। In this class we will continue the Namul Prakaranam. First sutram is 3.4.25. Karmanyakroshe kruyaha kamui. Here, instead of Namul, he has imposed kamui. This is the prachaya. Karmani akroshe kriyaha kamui iti sandhi vibhagaha. Karmani akroshe. Karmani, this is saptami. Upapada saptami. Karmapadam, karmapade upapade sati ityarthaha. When karmapadam is the upapadam of the dhatu, akroshe iti ichapi saptami. This is Vishaya saptami. Akroshe gamyamane ityartha bhavati. By the sentence, akrosha is intended. Akrosha is indicated. Akrosha means shouting aloud. Krusha dhatuhu ang purvakam. Krusha ahvane rodane cha. It means shouting aloud, calling aloud, or rodanam. Rodanam means weeping. Here we take shouting aloud. That meaning we will take here. So, akroshe gamyamane. Kriyaha. Kri dhatuhu. Tasmat kamui prachayaha. Kri dukrui karane iti dhatu pathaha. To do icharthaha. So, here the meaning of the sutra is karmani. That means ditiyantam padam. Yatra upapadam bhavati kriyoho dhatoho kamui prachayo bhavati akroshe gamyamane. So, when dvitiyantam padam karmavachakam, when it is upapadam of the dhatu, kri, to do, tasmat kamui prachayo bhavati, when the whole sentence it indicates crying aloud. Here the prachaya is kamui. So the initial letter ka is it. Antyam, halantyam, last letter nya is also it. So it results in am. Yatha namul. Etadapi, because this when ka is taken as the it has got its own purpose. We will try to explain it further. Now we will see some examples. Exemplary sentence is choram karam akroshati. Here chora shabdaha upapadam. Choram karmani upapadam. Karam is kri dhatoho kamui prachayaha. Akroshati. It means chaurosi dashurasi iti akroshati. Somebody, he shouts aloud that thief, 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 like that. Here, chora karanam akrosharthasya sampadanardhameva etat swikritam. It does not mean that the shouting about whom it is happening, that does not mean that he is a thief. But he is simply shouting aloud, a thief, iti. Because the hidden meaning is naming a particular person a thief and calling him aloud as thief. Without this pratyaya, that indication is not there. Without kamui pratyaya and kui, this meaning cannot be conveyed. That is, akroshanardha meaning is not conveyed. But even if he shouts thief, thief number of times, the other person cannot be deemed to be a real thief. Simply because shouting takes place, because the shouting has taken place, you cannot establish thiefdom on the person about whom the shouting has taken place. So here, chora is the upapadam. Chora means thief. Karam. Karam is kru plus ghamui. So kru plus amma. Vruddhi. Karam bhavati. Here, chora karam iti sthite, atra choram karam iti makara mugagamaha. Mumagamaha jataha. Kimardham etad arur dvisad ajantasya iti sutrena atra mumagamo bhavati, makaragamo bhavati. That khakarasya itvasya etadeva prayojanam. Now we will switch over to the next sutra. Swadumi namul samanakatrukayōh purvakale iti anuvartate. Then from the previous sutra, kriyaha ityapi anuvartate. Swadumi. Swadumi is upapada saptami. Swadum iti upapade ityartha. In fact, this swadum means only swadu. He could have mentioned swadu. Swadu means delicious, palatable, delicious substance ityartha. Swadu plus namul, krivi plus namul. That means swadu ardheshu. We need not take only swadu shabda here. Arthaparattvena svikattum shakyate, natu kevalam shabda paratvena. So whatever adjective in the place of swadu can be taken, any adjective. For example, swadu, sampanna, ichadi. So when swadu ardheshu upapadeshu kuyo namul prachayo bhavati. Yes, switch over to namul again. So when upapadam in the meaning of delicious is used, namul prachaya is imposed on the krui dhatuhu. Let us take examples. Swadum karam bhungte. Swadum karam bhungte ichukte. What does it mean? He eats it making it delicious. In the place of swadu, we can use other abhyayas also, other words also. Sampanna we can use. Sampannam karam bhungte. Bhungte means he eats. Same sense. He eats making it delicious. That means he combines that padartha which he is going to take. He mixes some condiments to increase its taste. Athava lavanam karam bhungte. He mixes common salt. to make it more delicious. So here swadum karam sampannam karam lavanam karam iti swadu sampanna lavana iti eteshu upapadeshu krui dhatoho namul pratyayah kru plus am vruddhikarakam kar plus am bhavati karam bhavati. Now a question arises here. When swadu is the word used as upapadam, why in the sutra it is used with makara in the end? Swadum iti kimardham prayuktam tatra. The taking of swadu word with makara in the end, it is intended by the sutrakara that only with makara the word is to be taken. Of course, there is another purpose also for taking with makara. Sometimes with chvi bhava also, chvi pratyayasya bhave also, this can be used. Chvi, already we are familiar with this. Abhuta tadbhave chvihi iti. Abhuta tadbhavaha ichukte evam itah purvam bhutam na idanim evam bhavati ityartha. Whichever did not exist in this fashion previously, it is made to exist in this fashion afterwards. So here, when this meaning is conveyed, you can rewrite the sentence taking aswadvim swadvim krutva bhungte. Here we have to use only krutva. Whereas in swadum karam we are using namul. It means he makes the non-delicious substance into delicious before taking it. This is the purpose of chvi pratyaya. But here we have not taken kritva, we have taken instead namul. Because when chvi is used, chaucha iti sutrena tatra ikaro bhavati. To prevent ikara, the word has been given with makara. Of course, swadum karam bhungte aswadvim swadvim krutva bhungte. Both are correct only. Another thing is, in this chapter, va asarupena vidhihi. That means when two pratyayas are dissimilar, either of the pratyayas can be used. In the same way here, instead of namul, twa also can be used. Because namul, after all, it is am. Twa is twa. So they are dissimilar. So alternately, any of them can be used. So we can say, swadum krutva bhungte iti. The meaning is the same thing. Next sutra. Anyadhevam kathamithamsu siddha prayogaschet. Anuvartate kriyaha namul. The dhatu is continued, kri dhatu. Pratyaya also is continued, namul. Anyadhaivam kathamithamsu. We have to divide it like this. Anyatha evam katham itham. Ultimately, su is added. That means all these words are to be taken with saptami. When anyatha word is used as upapadam, or evam word is used as upapadam, katham word is used as upapadam, itham word is used as upapadam. Etesu upapadeshu kriyaha namul pratyayo bhavati siddha prayogaschet karotehe bhavati. That means even if this namul pratyaya is not used in the sentence, only anyatha evam katham itham eva are used, then there won't be any difference in meaning. That means siddha prayogaha means siddhascha asau aprayogascha iti samasaha. Siddhaha, that is siddha. Thus, tasya aprayogaha. Siddha means already the meaning exists already. Siddha means vakyarthasya siddhihi ita purvameva asit. That is, the meaning is readily understood. But the word is not practically used. Even though the word's meaning is understood, readily understood, because it is readily understood, it is not made use of. Sometimes anardhaka vishayaha, that means meaninglessly, purposelessly some words are used in the sentence. They also can be dropped. Even if they are dropped, the meaning does not differ. Loka vyavahare anishta prayogaha loka vyavahare anardhaka prayogaha iti na bhavati. Anardhaka prayogaha ityadi shabdaha shastrarthe bhavanti, kintu loka vyavahare, in the common man's language, we cannot say this particular sentence is not to be used. Already the meaning is conveyed. You cannot say it. So here, one example I will tell you, siddha aprayogaha. That is, even though it is not used, the meaning is quite clear. There is one question and one answer. Kutaha bhavan iti prashnaha. Nadyaha iti samadhanam. Uttaram. The question is Kutaha bhavan. Exactly, if it is translated, where from you? You are where from? The answer is Nadyaha. Nadyaha aham. Actually, what are the things not used when you ask somebody, where from you? That means it automatically means where from you have come here. You have come here is not used here. Even though it is not used, the meaning is quite clear. Where from you means where from you are coming. Nadyaha iti samadhanam. Nadyaha agacchami iti seshaha. I am coming from the river side. So agacchami iti aprayuktam chedapi tadeva artho bhavati. That is called anardhaka shabdasya aprayogaha. Anardhaka shabdasya aprayogaha bhavatu athava siddha visayasya aprayogaha. So, when this meaning is conveyed, anyadhadishu upapadeshu kruyaha dhatoho namul prachayo bhavati siddha prayogaschet karotehe bhavati. With anyadha and evam and katham and itham, in that same order, we will take the examples. Anyadha karam bhunkte. Anyadha is a tadhita prachayanta shabdaha. Prakaravachane thal iti sutrena. Anya ityasya iti sarvanamnahataha. Thal prachaya. Anyadha means in a different manner, making it in a different manner. Anyadha karam bhunkte. This karam, kriu dhatoho namul prachaya. Upapadam is anyadha. Anyadha karam bhunkte. What does it mean? Anyadha bhunkte ityeva arthaha. Even if you don't use karam, same meaning. Anyadha bhunkte. He eats it, making it in a different manner. That means converting it otherwise. Here, anyadha bhunkte iti yavan arthaha tavaneva anyatha karam bhukte iti api gamyate. Karam iti namulantam prachayam prayuktam namulantam prayuktam na chedapi arthasya bhinnatvam na bhavati. So the sentence with anyatha karam and the other sentence with mere anyatha do not carry different meanings. That means namul ending word is purposelessly used. Purposelessly used. You can omit it. So another example with evam. Evam karam bhunte. Evam means in this manner, ichartha. This is also avyaya. In this manner. Evam bhunte ichukte, evam karam bhunte ichukte, evam tasya parishkaram krutva khadati ichartha. Evam karam. Even if that karam is not used, evam bhunte, it carries the same meaning. Here also, kru dhatoho namul prachaya. With katham upapadam, let us take the example. Katham karam bhunte. Katham bhunte icheva arthaha. Katham means in what manner. This is also tham prachayantaha. In what manner he eats iti arthaha vakyasya. Even if you use karam, don't use karam, evam kevalam katham iti prayuktam chedapi sayeva ardho bhavati. Itham karam bhunte. Itham means in this manner. Itham karam bhunte ichasya itham bhunte ichapi prayoktum shakyate. There is no difference in meaning. Here the Siddha Prayoga has been exemplified by the sentences. Why the Siddha Prayoga is used? Let us examine. Sakshat prayogam vina yatra tadartha nagamyate tatra tva prachaya is to be used. Prayogam vina api ardha gamyate chet namul prachayo bhavati. Prayogam vina yatra tadartha nagamyate, then we have to use only tva prachaya. We will take an example. Anyatha kritva siraha bhunte. Siraha is karma padam. Anyatha kritva siraha bhunte. That means having turned his head in a different direction, he eats. Krutva iti padam vina asmin vakye arthaha nagamyate. That is why here prayogam vina arthaha nagamyate iti krutva namul prachayo na bhavati tva prachayo bhavati. We will take the next sutra. Yatha tathayoho असूया प्रतिवचने कृयः नमुल सिद्धा प्रयोगे इति सर्वम अनुवर्तते. यथा तथयोः, यथा and तथा. Yatha means in what manner, tatha means in that manner. They are after all twin words which are used generally, both of them at the same time, both of them in the same sentence. Yatha tathayoho asuya prativachane. Yatha tathayoho iti saptami, upapada saptami. That means yatha tatha iti evam upapadayoho icharthaha. Asuya prativachane. The entire sentence should mean somebody is replying. Prativachana means reply. Replying with asuya. Asuya means ईर्ष्या सहितम इतरस्य गुणेषु दोषाविष्करणेन सह, गुणेषु दोषाविष्करणेन सह ईर्ष्या सहितम प्रतिवचनम इत्यर्थः. That means reply generated from asuya, envy, together with gross mistaking the other man's intentions. So, when this is conveyed, then when this meaning is conveyed, asuya prativachana meaning is conveyed with yatha and tatha upapadams, siddha prayoge kriyah namul prachayo bhavati. Now let us take the vritti vakyam in the systematic manner. Yadha tatha shabdayoho upapadayoho kriyah namul prachayo bhavati असूया प्रतिवचने गम्यमाने यत्र नमुलः सिद्धत्वात् अप्रयोगे सति इत्यर्थः. यत्र namul meaning is already ready, already understood. That is why it is not used in the sentence. Even then, when yatha and tatha are upapadams used with kri dhatuhu, to do, when the sentence indicates a reply made by one with intolerance and mistaking the other man's intentions, this dhatu kri is followed by namul prachaya. When the meaning of namul is already comprehensible, well ready, even without using the actual word ending in namul. This reflects the meaning of the previous sutram. Udaharanam svikriyate yadhakaram aham bhochye tadhakaram aham kim tava anena. Somebody is replying. In English, the sentence is, I shall eat in whichever manner I wish. What have you got to do with it? The sentence reflects intolerance of the reply giver and also gross mistaking of the other man's intentions, the questioner's intentions. Kim tava anena, what have you got to do with it? This sentence reflects mistaking of intentions of the questioner. So, here, yathakaram aham bhokshe, in whatever manner I am going to eat, why you are trying to know in which manner I am going to eat, in whatever manner I wish I will take. What have you got to do with it? Why you are asking all these things? A sort of intolerance is there. So, asuya prativachanam gamyate chedeva यत्र नमुल इत्यस्य सिद्धत्वात् अप्रयोगोऽपि न भवेत् तत्र क्री धातोः नमुल प्रत्ययः. Now let us consider asuya prativachanam is why this word is used. Suppose the reply is not with asuya, with irsya, with asahanam, then the sentence amounts to a statement. So in the case of statement, this namul pratyaya nabhavati. You can use tva pratyaya. For example, yatha kritva aham bhokshe tadha tvam drakshasi. Somebody asked him, in what manner you are going to eat? Then he says, I am going to eat in this manner. You are going to see in what manner I am going to eat. Yatha krutva aham bhochye. How I am going to eat, tadha tvam drakshasi. That manner you will come to know when you see me. Here there is no prejudice. There is no asuya. There is no intention, there is no suspecting of the other man's intentions. So here, kriyaha tvaprachayo bhavati, natu namul. So karam, already we have explained how this prakriya has been formed. Kriu plus am, vruddhi, karam. Siddha prayoge icheva. When siddha prayoga is not there, that means when the word has to be a pratyayanta word and kri has to be necessarily used to carry the meaning, then we have to use only tva pratyaya. Example, yatha krutva aham siraha bhokshe kim tava anena. That means asuya is there, but siddha aprayoga, siddhasya aprayoga nasti. Then we have to use only tva. Yatha krutva aham siraha bhokshe kim tava anena. That means in whatever manner I am going to turn my head, why you are questioning this? What we have got to do with it? So here without the prayoga of tva, that is krutva, the sentence meaning cannot be legitimately conveyed. We'll go to the next sentence, next sutra. Karmani drushi vidoho sakalye. Namul will continue. Karmani drushi vidoho sakalye. Iti sandhi vibhagaha. Karmani means this is upapada saptami. Karmani upapade icharthaha. When the upapadam before the dhatu is karmavachaka shabda. The dhatus are drushi vid. Drushir prekshane, itshane iti dhatu. Drush means to see. Vida, we can take the dhatu from three ganas. Vida jnani. Jnana means to know. Vida labhe, to possess, to get, to obtain. Vida vicharane, parisilanam icharthaha. In any meaning we can take this vida. So, drushi vida iti two dhatus here. Upapadam karmapadam bhavati. Then the namul pratyaya is to be used on drush and vid. Particular meaning should be sakalyarthaha. Sakalya means sakalasya bhavaha. Sakalasya bhavaha means all and sundry without exception icharthaha. So when you apply this sakalasya bhavaha, sakalyam, on this drushi dhatuhu, what does it mean? Whomever he sees icharthaha. Sakalyarthaha vidhatoho yadi tena saha anvaiti, then the meaning is whomever he knows, whomever he comes across. So in these meanings, drushya and vid dhatoho namul prachayo bhavati. So karmani upapade sakalya visishte ardhe drushi vidoho dhatvoho namul prachayo bhavati. The important vishaya is here. Drushi dhatuhu and vid dhatuhu, they should be used here in sakalya ardhaha. Wholesome, all icharthe. The object of the verbs to see and to know, upapadam. And when seeing any or everybody as such, or knowing any or everybody is meant to be conveyed with the verb, the dhatu gets namul prachayaha. Let us take an example. Kanya darsham varayati. Varayati means he loves. He chooses for marriage. Kanya darsham varayati. Kanya means unmarried girl. Here drushi dhatu sakalyardhe, sakalyardha visishte atra prayuktaha. That means drush plus sakalyardham ichukte, whomever he sees, whomever unmarried girl he sees, he wants to unite himself with her in marriage. He loves her. There is no discrimination. That means yaya kanyaha pasyati taha varayati icharthaha. Whomever unmarried girl he sees, any unmarried girl he sees, he loves her and gets ready to marry. That means only by seeing he makes love and gets ready to marry. So here Kanya is the Upapadam. Drushi dhatuhu namul pratyaya. Kanyamiti karmani bhavati. That is the Upapadam. Kanya darsyam. Drushi plus namul. Drushi plus amma. Gunaha. Darshi plus amma. Darsyam. With vid dhatuhu. Brahmana vedam bhojayati. That means yam yam brahmanam janati saha अथवा ब्राह्मणं लभते अथवा विचारयति तान् सर्वान् भोजयति इत्यर्थः. He feeds all Brahmins he knows or comes across or observes. Knowing him or meeting with him or observing him is sufficient for feeding. So here with the jnane, with the labhe, with the vicharane, all these pratyaya, all these dhatus in different ganas, they can be used. So when sakalyardham is not present in the sentence, then you should not use namul pratyaya. Instead, you can use tva pratyaya. Udaharana vakyam, brahmanam drushtva bhojayati. He sees a particular Brahmin and then feeds him. Not all Brahmins. Not any Brahmin he meets with. Kanyam drushtva varayati. He sees a particular girl and then gets ready to marry. So, he doesn't get ready to marry whomever he sees. Next rule, 30, 3, 4, 30. Yavati vinda jivoho karmani namul iti anvartate. Yavati यावत् शब्दस्य सप्तमी उपपदम यावति उपपदे सति इत्यर्थः. When yavat is the word used as upapadam over the dhatus vind and jiva. As before, vind with labhe iti dhatuhu, to obtain ityarthah. Vindati iti prayogah lat lakare. That's why vind is used here instead of vid. Jiva and dhatuhu. Jiva pranadharani, living ityarthah. So yavat is the upapadam before the vind dhatuhu or jiva dhatuhu. Then karmani upapade namul pracchayo bhavati etasya dhatoho. विंद धातोः जीव धातोः. यावत् इति शब्दे उपपदे विन्दतेः जीवतेश्च नमुल प्रत्ययो भवति. So we can take some examples. With yavat, yavat plus vedam, yavat vedam bhunkte. It means yavat labhate tavat bhunkte ityarthah. He eats as much as he gets. Yavat is the upapadam with dhatuhu namul pratyaya with plus namul gunaha vedam bhavati. Yavat vedam bhunkte with jiva dhatuhu. There are two dhatus and only one upapadam. So yavati upapade jiva dhatoho namul pratyaya. यावत् जीवम अधीते. यावत् जीवम इत्युक्ते as long as he lives इत्यर्थः. यावत् जीवति तावत् अधीते. He studies as long as he lives इत्यर्थः. 31st rule 3, 4, 31. चर्मोदरयोः पूरेः कर्मणि नमुल इति अनुवर्तेते. Charmodarayoho. Sandhi is to be divided. चर्म प्लस उदरयोः उपपद सप्तमी. सो चर्म शब्दः उदर शब्दः. चर्म शब्दः चर्म मीन्स स्किन, उदर मीन्स स्टमक बेल्ली. चर्म उदर इति एतयोः कर्मणोः उपपदयोः पूरयतेर् नमुल् प्रत्ययो भवति. पूर इज द धातु हियर. पूरयतेर् नमुल् प्रत्ययो भवति. पूर धातुः पूरी आप्यायने इति धातुपाठः. आप्यायने मीन्स पोषणं. पोषणं मीन्स आप्यायनम, filling up. Here charma and udara, they are the upapadams. Dhatu is poor only. So here in what meaning this is used? Poor, that dhatu explains the meaning. Poor means filling up. With charma example we will take. Charma puram strinati. Strinati means achadayati ichartha. Strui achadane iti dhatu patha. Charma puram strinati jukte, one covers up his entire skin. Covers up entire skin. Charma puram. Pur dhatuhu tasmat anprachayah. So it becomes puram. Because this is upadha is not lagu, we don't get guna. Charma puram bhavati. Evam udara puram bhungte. Purnam udaram bhojanena purayati ichartha. That means he eats belly full. Purnam udaram bhojanena purayati. Here pur dhatuhu. Actually puri apyayane dhatu pathe. Apyayanam means vruddhi, poshanam. But here it has got inherently nyantartha. That means getting filled up. Icharthe bhavati. So here if you take nyanta prachayanta अर्थः स्वीकृतश्चेत् उचितं भवति. The difference between स्वार्थ धातुः and न्यन्त धातु is here. In this case, आप्यायनम in स्वार्धे स्वार्ध धातुः it is intransitive, अकर्मकम. With न्यन्त धातुः making it fill up, that is becomes transitive. That means originally an intransitive dhatu becomes transitive when nich prachaya is added. So we have to take the dhatu here, pur dhatu, with nyantartha. Next sutram 32. Varsha pramana ऊलोपश्चास्यान्यतरस्याम्. अनुवृत्तयः पूरेः नमुल् कर्मणि. So here dhatu is pur dhatu only. Prachaya is also namul. Here karmani upapade. Varsha pramana. Varsha pramane iti sandhi vibhagah. Varsha pramanam. What does this mean? Varshasya pramanam, varsha pramanam. Pramanam means iyatta. Pramanam means measurement. Varsha pramanam means the measurement of rain. Nowadays we are measuring the rain by millimeters and centimeters. Yesteryears they were measuring the rain by inches. So many inches of rain, so many centimeters of rain, they were telling. Purvakale etadrusha pramana vakyani nasan. But some pramana vakyani, they are used to measure the extent of rain. So, dhatu is pura. Varsha pramanam gamyate vakyardhena. Here, when Varsha pramanam is indicated, that is, Varshasya iyatta is indicated, Pur dhatoho ulopascha anyatarasyam. Tasya dhatoho pur iti dhatoho ulopaha api bhavati anyatarasyam vikalpena. So, pur dhatu can be used with dropping ukara from pu or not dropping also. Purayater dhatoho namul prachayo bhavati ulopascha bhavati asya purayatehe anyatarasyam. Yadi samudayena prakriti prachaya upapadanam samudayena varshasya pramanam gamyate. When the words collecting the dhatu, prachaya and upapadam at one place, when the word carries the meaning of measurement of rain, the dhatu pur gets namul prachaya, and also the ukara of pur is omitted alternatively. Udaharanam. Gospada puram vrushto devaha. Gospada puram vrishtaha devaha. Vrishtaha means it rained. That means devaha is the karta. Deva has rained. It is the belief of our people that devatas are the generators of rain. Varuna, the god Varuna, is the generator of rain. So, rain is generated. Kiyata pramanena Gospada puram. Gospada puram is pramana vachakam. Yavata Gospada parimanavati jalam purnam ityartha. The water has filled up to the level of Gospadam. Gospadam means cow's foot. When the cow puts its foot on the ground, whatever area covered or whatever depth covered by that cow's foot in the earth, to fill up that depth only, it has rained. That means it scantily rained ichartha. Very little rain occurred. Gospada puram. Gospada is the karmani. Gospadam purayati ichartha. Gospadam purayati karmani. That is upapadam. Pur dhatuhu and then pur plus namul. Puram. Here ukara doesn't get guna because it's not laghu. Or suppose you drop the ukara from pur, it becomes pra, pakara rakara. So the word can be used as with dropping ukara also. Gospada pram vrushto devaha. Pur ichasya ukaraha dropped. So pakaraha rakaraha etau sishyate. So it becomes a pra. Gospada pram. Gospada puram can be alternately said Gospada pram. Gospada pram vrushto devaha. Another udaharanam is Sita puram vrushto devaha. Here, instead of Gospadam, we have used Sita. Sita means a tilled or a furrowed ground, land. For agricultural purposes, the agriculturist first tills the land. So, while tilling, a rekha will be formed there on the ground. So, here, Sita puram vrushto devaha ichukte, rain has occurred to the extent of filling up that Sita, that is the rekha on the ground, rekha which has been formed by tilling the land. It filled up the level of the track line of the plowshare, ichartha. This also means achalpam varsham sanjatam iti. That means avadhi is formed here. The limit of filling up is mentioned here. Varsham tavata bhavat yavata sita parimana avadhi jalam purnam. So here, pur, again, ukara can be dropped alternately. So when ukara is dropped, it becomes a pra. Sita pram brushto devaha. Here we have to note one thing. Ulopascha asya ichuktam. This clearly indicates that ukara lopa, it occurs only in pur dhatuhu, but not in the case of upapadam. Suppose upapadam contains ukara, that ukara is not dropped. That is why here asya is used. Ulopascha asya. For example, when you take upapadams like, say, ita purvam yad upapadam swikritam gospadam sita. Atra, it doesn't, they do not contain ukara. So the dropping of ukara mistakenly doesn't occur here. But suppose you use the upapadam musika bilam. Musika bilapuram vrushto devaha. Musika means rat. Bilam means rat's hole. So the rain occurred to the level of filling up the rat's hole on the ground. Here in the upapadam also you have got ukara. So it may be taken mistakenly that musika, ukarasya dropping is there. So ukarasya dropping is not there in musika shabde, only in the dhatu shabda pur ukarasya vilopena lopaha sanjataha. Let us go to the next sutra, 33. Chele knopehe varsha pramane karmani namul iti anuvartante. Here also varsha pramana vishayaha, the extent of rain, measurement of rain. Chele knopehe. Chela means vastram. Upapada saptami. Chela iti padam upapadam bhavati chet icharthaha. Here dhatu is knopa. Knopa dhatuhu. Knopehe. Knopi ichasya saptami. Knopehe. Knopi dhatuhu knui shabde iti shabde undanecha iti dhatuhu. Knui dhatu means making sounds or getting wet. Undanam means getting wet, becoming wet. Here on that dhatu, nich prayoga has been done. Nijantam rupam knopi. Knu ichasya pugagamo bhavati, knopi bhavati. So knopi is the nijanta rupam of knu dhatu. It means makes it wet, ichartha. Knui iti becoming wet. In the meaning of making wet, knop is used. So, chelardhesu karmasu. Here, not only chela shabda, we can take other shabdas, other words in the same meaning. Vastram iti meaning. Chelardhesu karmasu upapadeshu namul prachayo bhavati. Knopadhatoho varsha pramane gamyamane. Let us take udaharanam. Chela knopam vrushto devaha. Varsha pramana vishaya eva. Chela knopam vrushto devaha. Rain has taken place. It rained. What is the pramanam? What is the depth up to which it is rained? What is the level up to which it is rained? Chelaknopam, that means chelam. Chelam means vastram, cloth. Knopam means to the extent of making the cloths wet. Here also achyalpameva. He is not getting drenched. His clothes are not getting drenched with rainwater. Just it wets the rainwater. It wets the cloth. So Chelaknopam means it rained to the extent of making the clothes wet. Instead of Chela Shabda, we can take other Paryaya Padas also. Vastra or Vasana. Vasana Knopam Brushto Devaha. Vastra Knopam Brushto Devaha. So this usage indicates Varsha Pramanam. So with these few sutras, I think I have got time for another sutra. Nimula samulayoho kashaha iti anantara sutram. Nimula samulayoho kashaha. Here also karmani namul iti anuvartete. Nimula samula are the words upapadams here. They are karmavachika upapadams. Nimula means Nigatam Moolam Yasya. That means Moola means roots. Down to the roots ichartha. Samula means Saha Moolena, along with the roots ichartha. Here the dhatu is Kash, Kasha Himsartha. Destroying icharthe bhavati. So Nimula Samula Etayoho Karmavachinoho Upapadayoho Kasher dhatoho namul prachayo bhavati. So, nimula kasham kasati iti prayogaha. He destroys it down to the roots, ichartha. That means he completely exterminates it. Adhava samulam kasati icharthe, samula kasham kasati. He destroys it along with the roots completely, exterminates it. It tears up root and branch ichartha. Atra kashadhatoho namul vruddhi kasham bhavati. So itah prabhuti 48 sutra paryantam atra anuprayogaardham sayeva dhatu svikriyate. That is, yasmad dhatoho namul pratyaya is added. Sahadhatu eva anuprayogo bhavati. That means when two dhatus are added, here Kashadhatu is mentioned here. So Kashadhatoho namul prachayo bhavati. Tadeva kriyapadam anuprayogopi bhavati. So Kashati iti anuprayogam. So up to 48 sutrams, whatever namul, wherever namul pratyaya is against whose word namul is used, the same verb is used as the anuprayoga. So that is in the later sutras we will come across all these examples. So Kasadi also we will try to explain them. Kasadi have got 24 dhatus. We will relate them, we will list out them in the coming class. Now let us come to the refrain of the class with Shanti mantra. Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.